Hello everyone and welcome back to Apaya Puzzles. Today I'm going to depart from my usual repertoire of setters and have a look at a long back edition of a cryptic from thenation.com. So some years ago I came across this website and started solving some of their cryptics and was a massive fan. For some reason I fell out of the habit of it, but I was reminded of it the other week and thought, well, let's give that a go. From what I can tell, they no longer publish cryptics, but a bunch of them are still available because I don't know how easy it is to get to them, but I had a link to one and I was able to use that to find others. However, the authors of the crosswords are Joshua Cosman and Henry Picciotto. I'm going to say that's the pronunciation. And they have a website, Left Field Cryptics, and they're also on Twitter. So they're worth a follow, and they've got a whole bunch of materials and books of cryptics and things like this. I think, in fact, the entire collection of the Nation cryptics that they built is available in book form. Like I say, I was a huge fan of their cryptics, in particular because they're American setters. I think that's right, not Canadian. Excuse me if I've made a mistake there. And coming at cryptics from another country, particularly somewhere like America, where one, they don't have a huge kind of presence on the global cryptic scene, and two, the crosswording that they do is this is more of an exercise in Scrabble, where you need to know every word in the dictionary, and liberal use of kind of in references to American culture and so forth, as is understandable. The worry is that you try to solve an American crossword, or an American cryptic in this case, and there's a whole bunch of references to baseball teams and whatever else, and you're going to struggle. But my experience of them back then was that was not at all the case. They seemed to go out of their way to make the language of their cryptics globally generic enough that it didn't require that kind of inside knowledge. I struggle kind of approaching British crosswords or British cryptics on that kind of basis, because although there's not necessarily kind of cultural references, there's a lot of references to places and rivers and so forth and that kind of thing. I do want to try to correct course on that and actually get myself into British cryptics, because I do know that ultimately some of the quality that is available over there is exceptional. So that's a project for another day. But today we're going to start with one of these. This was the earliest one that I could get to online. Prior to this, they started to wig out. So I might just start the series with 3226 and see how far through them I can get. Like I say, check out their website and their Twitter if you want to follow. Hopefully this proves to be a decent advertisement for them. Unlike what sometimes happens, I try to solve a crossword on a video and things fall apart halfway through, either in terms of my ability to solve or my emotional capacity to keep my head up, and I just abandon the ship. So hopefully I'm going to try today to power through some of that self-doubt and hopefully produce something interesting for you. So difficulty wise, I'm not really entirely sure. I think I would rate it from memory harder than say a Liam Runnels puzzle, but nothing like as hard as a DA, David Astle. So who knows, we will see. One across, we're going to start off. Everyone can see everything. Let's go. Presbyterians converted pop star. Oh, well, that's a classic, that one. This is just an anagram. Is it going to let me enter them? There we go. This is just an anagram of Britney Spears. Oh, one T, I guess. Britney Spears. So Presbyterians is converted into the name of a pop star. So there we go. One down. Yogi's degree concealing blunder. So this, that is an American reference. I think Yogi Berra is the famous the famous person. I want to say that he was a baseballer, but I might be super embarrassing myself if he's some sort of literary genius. In any case, a degree is a BA, Bachelor of Arts, and a blunder or to blunder is to err, to make a mistake. And so Berra is Yogi Berra, which was his name. So I take back what I said about American references, although that's one that I suppose is fairly internationally significant. 9 across. Nearly remember one that's tagged with concert. One that's tagged with concert. One that's tagged. It. The person who's tagged is it. So this will be, yeah. Cool. This is recital. That's a nice clue. So nearly remember is the word recall, but not quite all of it. So nearly recall. So RECAL. And that is, within that is one that's tagged. And a person that's tagged in the game of Tiggy is so-called it, you're it. That's really cool. And I'm pleased with how I solved that. I got to the it pretty quickly, and I had thought of recal, but I thought it was going to be recal and then 2 more letters, and couldn't think of how that would work. But beautiful stuff. 11 across. Choice of Ford models with a large vessel. A large vessel. Choice of Ford models. Okay, so I suppose this is a type of Ford. You got AR, and then vessel is a 3-letter word. I was thinking jug, tub. I think there's another one that is commonly comes up. May not be AL, but I think it is. Let's see if we can get excuse me, this one here, 3 down. Sean cut crumbling fruitcake. So this is going to be presumably an anagram. Not sure if I know this. I think it's just an anagram of Sean cut, and it means fruitcake. I don't see an anagram there. ACT, ACT, NUES. It might be a type of fruitcake. 2 down. Incorporated in sour irrational attack. I see. So incorporated is usually INC. In is probably just in. In sour irrational will be an anagram, and attack. So incursion. So ink for incorporated. In sour irrational is those letters rearranged. In sour rearranged, and attack is an incursion. So this would be, if the L is correct, choice of Ford, AL, and then R. Doesn't look very promising. The vessel, and this letter here presumably is one of those anagram letters from Sean cut. Choice of Ford. Model. See what's models doing there with a large vessel. Could be a large at the end. Oral. Oh no, there can't be an L there, can there? No. Let's come across to 13 and see what we can get. Came down hard and saluted. Don't know. 13, internet locations tribute involving record. involving record, so probably EP or LP in there. Could be an LP, and then you might have something like help something, and internet locations. Like, and then attribute. Attributes to honor or an honor. Well, home page, but then you've got plural internet. Oh, it's not plural, it's apostrophe S. Oh, okay, so in that case, let's imagine it is home page. Oh, there we go. Well, I got there for the wrong reason. It's not honor, it's homage or homage or homage or however you want to say it. So homage with the word EP, the record in the middle for internet site. Okay, so at 13 across, came down hard and saluted. So I think hard is the H, and then saluted. And then the whole thing means came down hard. That would probably be that. Might get stuck in this little corner here. Thankfully, at the end of all this, I will, if I need to, I'll pause and go to the next edition, which has the previous edition's answers, and we can verify things there. So 17 across. Satanism defied part of a log. Defiled part of a log. Right, so it feels like just an anagram and part of a log. So part of a log. I'm wondering if that is kind of part of someone's diary, or if it's part of a piece of wood. It might be part of a piece of wood, and it's some sort of feature of timber, but the word doesn't stand out as an anagram. I think it is going to be an anagram, so we'll come back to it. 22 across. It might come from a pig, pork, kind of spray on individual's face. I think it's going to be something like pastrami, kind of spray. So individual's face, I think, is the I at the end there, and we need a kind of spray. Mist. Does pastrami even? No, pastrami doesn't fit. So kind of spray. Maybe it's, looking for an anagram with the spray in it. Alright, 23 down. Sends assignments. Posts. So a post is a job post in the sense of an assignment, and to send is to post. Pepperoni. There we go. Well, quite obviously. If I thought about that, a kind of spray. Well, I did think about it. I didn't get there. Kind of spray. Well, that's pepper. I didn't think to include the word on in any way. I thought it was a filler word, so I overlooked that. But pepperoni is what we're looking at there. 26. Neoconservative. Paragon. Okay, it might be a person in that movement, incorporating 1970s self-help movements overall pattern. Wow, I think this is going to be Gestalt. I would think, because an overall pattern is the gestalt. Neoconservative paragon, incorporating 1970s self-help movement. Unless that 1970s onwards is the definition. I might be wrong with gestalt, but it seems... I'll have to leave it for a second, but that seems like it might be right. Repeat something on a list nearly at speed. So this might be something. Nearly at speed. List nearly at speed. I feel like I was going to say re-enter, but I don't think that's right. Something on a list would be an item, I-T-E-M, itemize. Repeat something on a list nearly at speed. Speed I think could just be S, or rate. Well, this is probably an A, so it could be rate. Iterate. I was right about my item. So something on a list is an item, and we're just taking almost all of that word for ITE, and which is the nearly, and speed is rate, and iterate is to repeat something. Nice. And 17 across. Did have an I in it. Okay. So we'll keep going, and I think I'm prepared at this point to put in gestalt, although I can't say I fully understand how that all works. Already understand it all, apart from the definition. Mixed morass or tedious exert. We've got O and T, and this is going to be a hidden, I would think. So, assorted. I saw assorted and thought, oh no, there's not enough letters, but hang on. Let me just make these settings the way they should be. So the letters of assorted are spelt out in the middle of our clue there. So they are an excerpt of that, and that means mixed. So we're left with 17 across, Satanism, so it's definitely an anagram, one would think, part of a log, and there's the only vowels left are the A's, so I think this might be, so M-A-N, we need T-A and S, T-A and T-A and S, there's another S there. T-A, something like that, that doesn't make any sense. Manti, now we're getting really lost. It feels like asm, there's not another M there, is there? So yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't even know if I'm using the right letters there. I'm terrible with anagrams, especially when not on paper. We'll come back to that. 28 across. Allowance is imminent between Sunday and Monday at one day's close. 8 and 5. Okay. At one day's close. So it must be allowance, I think, which could be an amount of money, or it could be some sort of freedom of movement kind of idea. Allowance is imminent between Sunday and Monday. So S and M with the word imminent in between, or a word meaning imminent. At one day's close, that could be ATID. So days close Y AT. Okay. 21 down. Let's try to get some more letters. Makes a pass at Shinto stranger. Hits on. So to hit on is to make a pass, and that's an anagram of Shinto, which is indeed stranger in this case. Is an ing word. Speeding. Speeding. Spending limit. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, imminent is pending, and that is in between Sunday and Monday at one day's close. Where's the L and I coming from there? Maybe it's not spending limit, spending money. There we go. So pending is between S and M, and then one is literally there, and days close is Y. Okay, and the at was not being used as actual wordplay. It's just part of the connective tissue of the clue. Okay, 25. Sorrowful person set amid the old uprising. A sorrowful poem set amid the old uprising. With a Y. Or just sorrowful, then poem set. No, let's try 24 across. One charmer in a picture. One charmer in a picture. 20 down. Some of Islamic philosophy of church-state separation, with an M on the end. Some of Islamic philosophy of church-state separation. It looks like, sort of Islamic. Oh, I see. So ISM and just looking for the anagram there with ISM. That would give LAIC. So Alicism could be A here, but then you have two I's, so ISM LACI. So maybe it is something like that. Thinking of words like bicameral, and I might be wrong about that. 27 across. For example, Hemingway's faction hijacking stripped Buick. So stripped Buick would be the B and the K taken off Buick to give UIC. Yeah, So this looks like suicide. Yeah, so a faction is a side. It's hijacking the letters UIC. So, for example, Hemingway, I guess, means that he's an example of a suicide. I actually didn't know that was the case. That confirms the I. Let's see if we can confirm this I. This one seems more dubious. Nook with a flame limiting start of conflagration. So start of conflagration will be the C, and then it's going to be limited by a flame. So it's going to be a word for flame around it, possibly the letter A as well. Yeah, this is going to be alcove. Well, I seem to have the right letters here. This might be something like that. So a nook is an alcove. A flame is a love, which is limiting the letter C to give us alcove. 24, well, is that an I? Well, 1 would be I. A charmer is this. Well, a charmer is a mage, and so that was straightforward. Picture as image as a synonym. And a charmer is a mage, or mage, how do you say that? This is an elegy. 25, sorrowful poem is an elegy set amid the old uprising. So ye is the old. And set, to gel. Okay, so to set is to gel, and that is set in between the letters YE, meaning the old, an old version of the word the, and there we go. So it looks like laicism is correct. 15 down. Quarantine lunatic into a silo. So this is isolation, and this is quite appropriate. I wonder what time of year this was published. Well, 2012, so they had no idea what was on its way. So let's go up here, 7 down. I make notes, perhaps. Okay then. Anagram of notes would be stone. Set on. Sonnet. Yeah, there we go, sonnet. So a sonnet makes notes. It's a kind of analytic kind of clue, and notes anagrams makes. So perhaps is acting as the anagram indicator here. I think that's what's going on. It's slightly skewed if that cue, but clue. Last bit of fuel caught in foreign throttle. So last bit of fuel is L, caught inside a word for foreign, and the whole thing meaning throttle, which could be strangle, which is what it is. Strange is another word for foreign, and that's capturing that last letter of fuel. We've got an ing word here, which is always appreciated, at least 99% likely. Drifting, ing. Agnostic goes to hell. So ing coasting is an anagram of agnostic, which is going to hell. That is, it's anagramming itself. 5 down. Ring up Winnie to express impatience. That's very interesting. That's a very nice clue. So Winnie is Winnie the Pooh. To ring up, or to ring someone, a ring is a hoop, and that hoop going upwards gives you poo. Winnie is poo, and to express impatience is to poo-poo something. Very nice. Live or live inside of obese eccentric. Yeah, wow. I feel like eccentric is a nut. But I don't see, but it doesn't seem to, feels like more like a word for live, which would be like to be, be, inside of a word for obese. And the whole thing meaning eccentric. No, I can't see what the definition would be here. That might not be sonnet. I should remember that. That's probably not a sonnet. It seems very nice. So let's try this one here. Air Force, maybe AF, exhibitions for business. Yeah, this is affairs. So Air Force is AF and exhibitions is fairs and business is affairs. Live inside of obese, eccentric. Offbeat would be eccentric. B is to live. And so the of here is there as well. So of and the FAT, obese, going around the outside of B. So this is not sonnet. I wonder if steno is a word, like stenograph. S and E. I make notes. This one looks like yellow. Named bicycle, pterodactyl's guts. Interesting. Well, named. Okay. Y and L. Oh, I'm quite confused. So I see. Then the Y and then. Nope. Brittany is right. Recital is right. I'm thrown by the fact there's a Y in bicycle and in pterodactyl, and gut suggests inner letters, but they're named. That would suggest that. I'm not seeing a word here that means named. I don't know if yoked is a word and if that means named. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find this letter. Hopefully it's not an E, because that's actually not what I want. Episcopal, stirred a soft drink. Okay, so this is Pepsi Cola. That's good, because we don't have an E here. And we have this weird YLP. Well, interestingly, yeah. Wow, answers on a postcard, everybody. I don't think I can think of any word that fits here. I'm sure there is one, but I'm not seeing it. Was it like yaloppy or something? Named, but I can't see what any of the words are doing, which is not great. ICLEPT. You got this, which is the guts of that term there, but that to me does not look like. Just double check this. Nearly remember, recall. Yeah, that's got to be right. And Britney Spears can't be wrong. It's the classic anagram. Oh, is it all? She's not spelled with an I, is she? I don't think so. No, well, no, it's an anagram, so I've got all the letters, but there's got to be a Y in there, so it's there. Y-clept? I don't think that's a word. Might as well check it. Oh, wow. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can. Let me see. Can I arrange this and all? I don't have to muck around with this. Oh no, you can see it, sorry. I couldn't see it on your screen, but you can see it on yours. Y-clept is by the name of. Holy cow. Well, that is... I honestly was Googling that for the sake of it. I thought, obviously this is not going to come up. But Y-clept it is. By the name of. Well, I never. 3 down. Sure, that's the Sean. So we're back to the Badlands. Now, I think this is a steno, and I'm assuming that's a type of pen. It seems to make sense with, there's a stenograph, you've got stencils. So I'm going to say that's a word, another unusual one. And actually, if I remember correctly, that was another nice thing about these puzzles, is that they introduced some pretty tricky vocabulary. Now, I'm going to try 13 across first. Came down hard and saluted. This feels like the one I should be able to solve. Hard is H. But then saluted. I can't think of any other words for salute. So not so good. 11. Choice of forward models with a large vessel. Maybe it's just choice. And then forward models. I don't love having to know what particular models of forward exist, but maybe that's not what's happening. And then you've got this Sean cut crumbling fruitcake. It has to be an anagram. If we had AST, we'd have ENCU. E's likely to be here for the ED. I mean, surely with this I should be able to then get something. So A, E, I, O, U. Keep thinking of head, but no, I think that's good. So if there's not an S, ACT, ENUS, could be the N, so ANT and G. Yeah, I don't know. So we are stuck. Choice of forward models with a large vessel. Can't all be impossible. And it's definitely bearer, and it's definitely incursion. Okay. Well, rather than waste everybody's time, I'm going to pause and have a look at the answers and come back and see if they make any sense. Well, I need to somehow inject into this video some music indicating sorrow and shame. Brittany is incorrectly spelled here, so that was not helping me. It's Brittany with an E, with an N-E-Y, which gives nutcase here, and nutcase is a word that had come to mind in looking at this clue, but didn't consider it seriously because of this first letter not being correct. Nutcase is a fruit cake and an anagram of Sean Cut, so that's perfect. Had I got that, I would have had some better chance of this and this. Well, this one down here is mantissa, and that is not a word that I'd seen before. So that means a part of a log. Let's have a look at that actually. Oh, it's relating to the logarithms. Interesting. Again, so a very tricky piece of vocabulary, that. The fractional part of the common base 10 logarithm. There we go. This one is hailed, and I did also think weirdly of the word hail when I was solving this, but was set on this meaning came down. Well, it does mean came down. Came down hard is, I was set on the H being hard, and so that was my problem. Came down hard is hailed, and saluted is hailed. Came down hard, I think, is suggesting not just that it came down with force, but that it came down solid. So that's a nice clue. Maybe feel like a question mark seems justified, although not necessary. And 11 across, choice of forward models with a large vessel. Well, the large vessel is the aorta, and ignore that. So what do we got here? Right, well, so this is A or T followed by A. So the final A in the clue is the final letter, and a choice of forward models is you've got a choice between the forward A and the forward T. I think that's what's happening. So there must be a forward model A. Yeah, there we go. And there we go. When I was a child, I had a collection of these little guys. 1927 did that. It replaced the venerable Model T. So it started with T and went back to A. Very interesting. Okay, so there we go. As I suggested, I did power through despite some moments of stupidity, and I'm very annoyed at myself for not having double checked that spelling of Brittany, especially once there was not a double T. Brittany without the double T and the A and Y doesn't really make sense now that I think about it. I probably would have gotten out, I reckon, although that A or T as a word play is very tricky. Mantissa, I could have played around with the letters and thought eventually that was a plausible word, but yeah, never seen it before. Did we figure out how to actually say y-clept? E-clept? Yeah, it looks like e-clept or I-clept. I'm not sure if that is the long or short. I think it's a short I, that one. So e-clept, e-clept. Yeah, it's got, yeah, e-clept maybe. There we go.
Eclept.
Eclept. Okay, so, and was there another one over here that was a bit, steno, let's have a look at that. Steno, a shorthand typist. Right, so it's a person who uses, informal North American, a shorthand typist, short for stenography. It was written by the little Steno himself. That's an interesting quote. I wonder what that's from. That sounds a little snide or snarky or something, one of those words. I thought that might actually be referenced somewhere. I wonder who came up with that. It's probably some AI has thought that's a useful way of describing the word. There we go. Where's my actual crossword? Here we go. Okay, so thank you very much everyone for sticking with me while I got over those hurdles, and for forgiving me my sins as I forgive you for trespassing against me, which I'm sure you've done at some point. Anyway, thank you very much. feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.